Hey guys, my name is Amelia from Losing Amelia VSG. I'm really nervous right now. I've never done a video of myself, but here in exactly 2 weeks from today, on August the 10th, I will be having VSG surgery, which is vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I am super excited, super nervous. I have been planning for this for almost the whole year. Well, since January, I started doing my insurance appointments since then. But now that it's down to it, I'm feeling a little nervous. I kept thinking of different ways that I could journal my experience, and I really wanted it to be something that I would remember, um, just to have for the future if I ever get to feeling like this wasn't worth it. What in the world have I done? I can go back and look at these videos and realize that the decision that I've made to have the VSG surgery would be well worth it. So, just to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Amelia. Um, I am a photographer. I have been a photographer for 6 years. I went to university for photography, um, fine art. I do portrait work now. It's definitely a dream of mine. I have had a studio location in a downtown area near where I live for the past 5 years, and just recently, my husband and I have been praying very hard about what our future would look like as far as a family, and we decided to go through the process of adoption. During this decision, I decided to close my studio and move home. We recently moved to a new home, and I have enough room to have a studio there. So I closed my studio and I've moved home. It was definitely the best decision I've ever made on so many levels. I love being at home. I have a 6-year-old biological son. He is definitely the light of our lives, obviously. It has allowed me to be home and be with him a lot more than I would be if I had a studio. And also, I don't have to pay rent, so that's even better. I have been married to my husband for 11 years. It'll be 13 years, or 13 years. I'm really nervous. I'm sorry. 12 years in March. He is supportive of my decision to have surgery. I have been thinking about having surgery for probably 3 years now. At first, he was very non-receptive to the idea of me having surgery, and he kind of had some preconceived notions that many people have, that VSD surgery is truly the easy way out. He kind of thought that I could lose the weight on my own, um, but it's not as easy as you think it would be to do that. So we talked about it a lot, and then he kind of just wasn't very, he said I could do what I wanted. He would support me, but he really wasn't on board with it, and I just wasn't comfortable making the decision if he was not going to be on board. So I decided to just kind of wait it out. And last year, kind of toward the end of the year, we discussed it and decided, hey, maybe this is the right decision. He still wasn't on board, but he was kind of, I'll support you with whatever you do. So I decided I was going to go ahead and do it. Well, I went to the doctors in September, and to start my 7 months consecutive, 6 consecutive visits, which is actually 7 doctor's visits with your insurance. Um, but for some reason, I just kind of decided, I just don't know. I felt scared and worried, and my mom had been kind of sick at the time. She was living with us. A lot of things had happened, and it really just kind of put me on a different path. Then in December, we kind of started talking about it again, and I decided, oh, I might want to do it, but the whole adoption thing, kind of the process kind of started, and I thought, well, maybe not. I just don't know. And we really prayed a lot about it, and eventually in January, we had to go get a physical for our home study for adoption, and I decided then I'm just going to see if I can make this physical my first appointment. Someone really close to me had decided to have the surgery, and I was their support person. So I had went to my doctor, which is Dr. Malapar, um, with her, and I did not have an appointment, but I went anyway, and I went to the seminar, and I was her support person, and he kind of talked to me about it, and he went ahead and gave me the paperwork that I would need to have my insurance appointments, my weight check appointments. So in January, I started my appointments, January the 19th, actually. I went in. My nurse practitioner has actually had the VSG surgery, and so she was a huge encouragement to what I wanted to do. My husband still was not on board at this point, but when he went to the appointment, he also had to get a physical, so he came with me. Um, she talked to him about the different changes that I would have and about how things would happen, and really that it was going to be a life-changing, positive experience for me. And after that appointment, he was completely on board and excited, and he's been very uh, supporting. I don't know how to say that. I'm nervous because I don't normally talk to a video camera. He's been very supporting, and he's excited. So I've done my appointments per my insurance. I have to have those 7 appointments. I actually had to have 8 because there was a kind of a miscommunication about the ending date for my 180 days of visits. And so we had to do another appointment, but I've gotten to know my nurse practitioner really well. She has had the surgery and she is excited about it. Um, I My son is coming up the stairs. I can hear him. I don't know if he's going to come in here or not. But I'm really excited to get it done. So, on to about my surgery. I'm rambling a lot. This is probably going to be boring. I'm sorry. Um, Normally, Blue Cross and Blue Shield takes 2 to 4 weeks to approve your surgery. I have been trying to get all my paperwork together and my medically charted obesity for the past 3 years, which obviously I have. I actually got it all turned in this Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Monday. Today is Wednesday, January the 27th. Monday, on the 25th, I got everything turned in, and 5 hours later, the nurse from my gastric surgeon had emailed me to tell me that I had been approved. My heart skipped a beat, and then I thought, no, this isn't right, because it's literally been 5 hours. So I emailed her back, and I said, hey, are you sure that you've emailed the right person? I don't think you have. We just turned my paperwork in, and she emailed me back, and she's like, I don't know how it happened, but you're approved. And so with that approval, I slowly started to freak out a little bit. I kind of felt like I've had 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks to kind of plan and get ready and really accept. It's not like I haven't had 7 months to think about it, which I have been thinking about it. And I've just been really, in those 7 months, I've been thinking, oh, can't wait to have the surgery, can't wait to have the surgery, I'm so excited, can't wait to be skinny, whatever. But now I'm kind of thinking, oh my God, I'm approved super fast. What am I going to do? Like, I just started freaking out. I've never been to the doctor before. Not to the doctor. I've never been in the hospital before. The only time I've ever even went to the emergency room was for migraine headache when I was young. I had crippling migraines, as I still do. So the thought of having surgery is very terrifying to me. I'm actually very scared. In fact, on my seminar paperwork, I had to put, if you had any fears or reservations about the surgery, what would they be? And I put death or crippling crippling injury from the surgery. So I'm freaked out about it. I'm not gonna lie. And not only am I freaked out about having the surgery, I'm also freaked out about after the surgery. I know from being a support person of someone very close to me that has had surgery, it's going to be a challenge. Um, First of all, I spend 10 minutes, I just could talk all day, I guess. I'm gonna talk about my stats. I am 5'5.5". I um, am 295 pounds, 295.4. The biggest I've ever weighed is just a few weeks ago was 299.8. I've never broke that 300 barrier. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but um, thank God I've never broke it, but obviously I've been pretty close. So this surgery means a lot to me. I am a very active 295 pounder. I have to do a lot with my job, and I've noticed that it has become very hard. Everything about getting up and down off the floor is hard, and when you're a photographer, that's really what you have to do a lot of. Get up and down. You're outside chasing a 2-year-old. You are all over the place. Weddings, you're on your feet the whole day. It's just a lot, and I've noticed recently that it has become harder and harder. Um, I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was diagnosed with that about 8 years ago. I started noticing that I might have issues with that, though, while I was in college, which was about 15 years ago. Um, no, I probably about 14 years ago, I realized I started having issues with my periods. They were not normal. Sometimes I would go months without getting one, but I did not have the weight gain. I attributed this to the lifestyle that I was leading at the time. I didn't eat a lot. I went out, danced a lot. You know, I was thinner then. As soon as I met my husband, I started to gain weight, which I think is pretty common in a serious relationship. We decided to get married very quickly. We had not known each other for a very long time. Once we got married, I really started to notice the weight gain, and we went through an adjustment period because we did not know each other very well. So we moved away from my family, which is all I had ever known. I think I kind of started to gain weight then because I'm a real big emotional eater. But then I noticed, like, I wasn't having a period. Every month I'd be like, oh my God, we're pregnant. And then, of course, we were not. Then we decided to start to try to get pregnant, which was a long and daunting process. About 7 years ago, I had my first, 8 years ago, I had my first miscarriage. It was devastating. At the time we had been living in Tennessee, my husband had actually moved, and I was still in school, so I could not move. I had to stay there until the semester ended, and I was alone when it happened. And of course, I called him and my mother, and they rushed up to Tennessee to kind of helped me through it. It was a very traumatic experience. I'll never forget calling my doctor at the time, and I spoke to the nurse, and she said, well, at least you know you can get pregnant. And that was painful for me to hear. That was actually not very helpful at all. And I kept thinking, I've done something to cause this. And now I know that I have PCOS. So it's kind of really my body doesn't allow certain things to happen, and that's hard. I did go on 7 years ago. My son's birthday is actually August the 4th. I had a son 7 years ago, and a couple of years ago I had another miscarriage. It was hard, and I know that it's because of the PCOS that I had this miscarriage. It's just something that I live with. Another thing about PCOS is a common symptom is insulin resistance. Not only does PCOS mess with your hormones like crazy, it also, when you eat, it gives you more insulin than you really need. So say I eat a piece of pizza, the normal person might get X amount of insulin. I'm going to get like triple that, and it really stores almost everything to fat. So you're fighting a losing battle when it comes to losing weight. And I think I have used that as a crutch. When it's hard to lose weight like that, you don't almost want to put the effort into it. And so you feel like you can just eat anything, and that's how I have felt. So I've slowly gained weight and gained weight and gained weight. And I'll go through periods of time where I try to lose weight, and sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I'm not. Last summer, I went to the gym every single day. I did Zumba. I watched my weight. I actually did not cheat on my diet, and I never lost a pound. And that's heartbreaking to think and to put that much effort into something, and you don't really have anything to show for it. So I decided, just F it, I'm going to get the surgery. I don't think the surgery is the easy way out. I actually feel like it is going to be very, very hard. I'm super excited to get it though. I'm 2 weeks out from my date today. So I'm nervous about it, but I'm pretty excited. Um, I would be curious to know if anybody watches this video at all, what your fears are or what your fears were about the surgery. I think my biggest fear, aside from just actually physically having surgery, would be the emotional aspects of eating afterwards. I have a real relationship with food. I think I love food. I mean, who doesn't love food? I think that's going to be very hard. Just something very hard to kind of get on and move over, like get on with it. But we'll see how it goes, I guess. I am currently doing the pre-op diet. I will make another video about that and about the struggles that I am already having with this diet, and it's just like 3 days in. um, yes, so this is my first video. I hope I didn't ramble or bore. If you watch the videos, please like it and let me know. Um, I guess that's it. I don't know really how to end these, but I will do a video about my pre-op diet. Kind of post that and talk about how terrible it is because it's so awful. I'm very excited to have the surgery, and I'm really inspired by the whole YouTube community about VSG surgery. There's so much information, and there's so many people that really pour their lives out about it. And I was just really inspired by that, and I thought, hey, I could do that too. Even if nobody watches, I will have these videos for myself. So one day I can look back and be like, oh, it was so worth it to have the surgery, because I know that in the long run, this is really going to be the best thing. So if you watch the video, like it, comment, tell me what your fears are, maybe help relax me a little bit because I'm so freaked out. And thanks. See you guys later.